Hey ESGN Nation, and welcome back to another episode here on ESGNet of NCAA 14 football. And this is the Highland Scotties Team Builder Dynasty, and this is a special episode of the Scotties Sports Talk here, episode 48. And today we're going to take a quick look here, talk about what happened in the national championship game between Texas Longhorns and the Highland Scotties. As you see, yes, we were very victorious in that game as Highland goes on to win their third national championship in 4 years. And what a great game here. High scoring game. To be honest, I was not really expecting it to go that high, especially both teams scoring 40 points in a game, but they did. And of course, we did see one of our players that I was kind of really disappointed about seeing it. We'll talk more about that here in just a bit. But there you see Lewis Norton, your player of the game, 16 of 22. He came in during the second half and really put up some numbers there for us and did a great job taking us and helping us move on to the next level and bringing home another national championship. There you see the score, 45-41, defeating Texas there by 4. Both teams down the middle. Look, you can tell there 21 first downs apiece there. Total yardage there, offensive yardage, just to say, over 400 yards for both teams. We had 513, and there you see the red zone, 6 for 6 for us, 3 for 3 for them. Turnovers. There was 4 turnovers on us. We had 3 intercept. We got picked off 3 times and we got fumbled once. They fumbled 3 times in the game. You see Norton there, 284, 4 touchdowns, 72% of passes are complete. But the man that we were really disappointed with was Rush, who ended the game 12 of 24, only completing 50% of his passes. This was just not his night. 197 yards, 179 yards passing, and 1 touchdown, 3 interceptions in that game. Rush overall as a collective for this season, he had some really good games there, but at the same time, he really struggled. I think it was because I don't think he was quite ready or really prepared for too many of these games here to be the man in charge, being the field general there. We brought him back because we were trying to help him out to get a first round pick. Now, not saying that he's not going to be a first round pick. I think he will be, but I don't think he's going to be as high as I think he was really wanting to be. But we'll look into that later on. Take a look at your receiving numbers there. Tolbert, of course, 11 catches, 194 yards, 2 touchdowns in the game. Of course, the game winner there towards the end, which was a great one there. Godfrey, I cannot wait to see what this kid can do next season. He'll be back for his sophomore year. 9 catches, 156 yards, and a score. And then Little, 6 catches for 103 yards and 1 touchdown. And Ramirez, we got him a catch, but just couldn't get him in the end zone. And then Wilson, 1 catch for 8 yards and a score. So we got some good offensive numbers there from our receivers. Defensively, just as well. Tisdale, it's sad to say, but we're going to see him go this season. 11 tackles there from him, 1 tackle for loss. Weaver, 6 tackles, 3 tackles for loss. Gallagher had 2 sacks. He had 4 tackles and 3 tackles for loss from him. It's going to be really sad to see some of our seniors leave. Of course, they will move on. They'll go on to the NFL, and of course, a lot of those players you'll see coming up here in our draft. They're in the Giants franchise there on that Dynasty, or that franchise series there here on the channel. But take a look at some of the numbers there from Texas, and wow, what a game that this young quarterback, this guy here, Sam Elliott, he just is a beast there. I know looking at his numbers, I was looking at his numbers leading up to this game, and it really did freak me out some. I really thought we were going to have more trouble with him on the ground, which we did, but also in the air, he had a great game there from him. There you see some of Texas receivers there. Their tight end had a great, decent game. Didn't get him in the end zone, but Carter, their halfback, 9 catches for 79 yards, a score, along with another score there from another wide receiver. Texas, they're a Texas team. They played the traditional Texas type of football, Longhorn football for a lot of years. And like I said, I knew this was gonna be a shootout. I really thought it was gonna be under 30 points. I thought it was gonna be a very tight game, tight defensive football game here. More so that it was gonna be that no one was gonna crack open, 30 or more. But boy, was I wrong at that point of the game. Especially going, first half, I thought, I'm like, okay, we're like, we're pretty close. We're within 10 points of each other. There's a good chance that we may stay under 30. But then, the second half came out and they came out roaring. And Highland, I think that's twice now we've played a national championship. We've been behind and came back, storming like no other. But you see the final top 25 there. Of course, Highland, they're at the top of the number there with the number 1 overall, winning this one. And just take a look here at the rest of your top 25 there. Notre Dame is inside the top 10. We'll see Oklahoma there at number 12, and then you see the rest of them just trickling in there. So yeah, this is I think this is the final top 25 there for the season. But of course, I mentioned this in the past videos here, and we are going to officially do it. Starting this after once we get this off-season video done, we are going to go ahead and start regulation of some of the teams here, as some teams will be making some changes to where their address, or at least where their conference they're going to be at this year. Now remember, we're going to do each Power 5 conference is going to have some sister conference that they're going to be working with. For example, for us in the Big 12, we'll be working with Conference USA. As you see here, the MAC, of course, will be working with the Big 10. So the top 2 teams from the sister, the lower conferences like the MAC, they got an East and West division. Those 2 will, of course, be brought up next season, and they'll play into either the East or the West of the Big 10. So, for instance, Bowling Green here, as you see, they're 9-5, they're 6-3 conference-wise. They are now going to go ahead and be brought up to the Big 10 East, and then as for the Big 10 West, it'll be Ball State going there with a 10-4 record with a 7-2 overall record there for them. So that's pretty much how that's going to work. We'll take a look at more of these here coming up. The MAC, or I should say the Mountain West Conference there, these 2 teams there will, of course, go on to the Pac-12. So they'll meet. So your winner from your Mountain will go to the North, I believe, the Pac-12 North, and the winner of the West Division of the Mountain West will, of course, be in the South. So your Mountain winner here will, of course, be Idaho, 10-4 overall, 7-3 in the record for conference record. And then as for San Diego State, they'll go to the South, where they'll go to the Pac-12 South. So as for your Pac-12 individuals here, take a look there. Looks like in the North, it'll be Washington State going to the Mountain West Mountain Division with a 2-10 record and a 2-8 record overall, or in the conference. And then in the Pac-12 South, it looks like it's going to be Utah going to the Mountain West West Division. So you guys understand what I'm talking about. So with that being said, with that we'll start, and I will move those teams around coming up in the next off-season video. Actually, I think we'll split the off-season video in 2 parts like we usually do. But you'll see the conferences, the teams being moved around. I am right as I started this video here, I made sure that I wrote down this information, so when I do get this series or get the off-season ready to go, I can move around those teams. As for the Sun Belt, now Sun Belt is going to be working with the SEC, and since the SEC does have 2 divisions, but the Sun Belt does not, the winner of the Sun Belt, whoever the winner is of the Sun Belt, will represent whoever overall has the worst record in the SEC. And of course, you see there, Louisiana, they're won the Sun Belt, so they'll move up, and I believe it's I think it was the loser of overall there in the SEC was Kentucky, so they'll switch spots with Kentucky. So they'll take Kentucky's spot, which I think Kentucky's in the SEC West. It might be in the East. I'm not for sure, but whatever division they were in, that's who they'll be the spot they'll be taking. So that's how that's going to work out there. I am going to try to do it geographically as much as possible. So and that's what with the way I want to do. I want to try to mix the things up. I want to see how teams do. I want to see if these some of these smaller conferences like America, Conference USA, Sun Belt, see how those schools do, if they can match up to those big boys there, and if they can stick around. They can stay, they can stay in the conference as long as they're winning. I think I see other people doing this. I got an idea from a friend of mine to kind of do this, and I was like, that's not a bad idea, because it really will shake us up. Now, I will say for this first year, for us, the Big 12 will not be Big 12 and SEC, or the Big 12 and the Conference USA will not do the regulation. Excuse me, this first season, because since we are bringing in 2 new teams to the Big 12, it wouldn't really be fair to let. Not necessarily fair, but it wouldn't be right for add on 2 more teams. It'll be 14 teams in the Big 12. So we're gonna wait, and what we're gonna do is what I plan on is letting whoever wins this upcoming year, we may end up, or I don't know. I was thinking about whoever loses this year will have to stay. We'll have to be down there for 2 seasons, and then let the winners of this year, who would have been up there, stay for 2 seasons. I don't know how I'm gonna do that yet, but it just depends. We'll take some time. I have to look at it, see how I'm gonna do that. But since we are bringing 2 new teams to the Big 12, I'm trying to figure out a way that would be fair and just decent for those teams to come up. So I have to look down. I have to figure out how I'm going to do this. But of course, we will be in the Big 12 North, and BYU will be in the Big 12 South. So that's how those teams are going to be represented in that sort of way. And of course, the loser of the worst teams. Losers are so harsh. The teams that are doing the worst in each team in the North and the South, whoever does poorly will of course move on. They will be demoted, and they'll be put into the Conference USA. Take a look here at your bowl results. Hope you guys enjoyed the bowl games. I really enjoyed them. Next season, during towards the end of the season, I won't be showing every single bowl game. I will only be actually focusing on the bowl games from the Big 12. So we'll see some of those games. I want to kind of scout out players and stuff like that, especially when I get ready to set up my draft, so I can recreate those players in Madden and check those players out. Of course, some of the players that won awards or high profile that this, whatever season we're in, of course they will be in those future draft classes I'll create for the Madden 20 game. And of course, that'll be only on the PS4. So stay tuned. I will have a video about that. Also, too, before we go, in the upcoming the first part of the off-season video, we will talk about players, custom players that you guys want to be, people want to be involved in the series. There will be I'll talk about that, and of course there'll be some information about that coming up in the next video, in the off-season video. So stay tuned for that, or I might make a separate video by itself about that. But that's coming up here very soon. And we'll see how this off season goes. But we're gonna have a lot of people leaving here. I've already kind of seen who the players are leaving, and it's a tough one. But we'll have to tough it out. We got some good players coming in here next season. I cannot wait. to see who's going to be playing where. And of course, we'll have a brand new quarterback. Where I will say this: we will lose Newton and Rush because of graduation and the NFL draft. So we'll have a brand new quarterback, and we'll see who that quarterback is coming up in the offseason video. So stay tuned for that. That video should be coming up here in the next day or two, and we'll get the fifth season started very, very quickly here on the channel. But that's it for me, you guys. I hope you guys enjoyed today's episode of the Scotties Sports Talk. That's it for this episode. Stay tuned for more. If you guys enjoyed today's episode, please leave a like. Don't forget to subscribe to the channel and hit that bell notification so you guys can be notified of this series or any other series here on the channel. Follow us on Facebook, Twitter, and the score down below. Check us out on Patreon if you will be a patron to the channel and help out the channel in a financial way. It would be greatly appreciated. And thank you guys so much for watching. And again, stay tuned for more NCAA football with the Highland Scotties team builder here on ESGNet. Also, don't forget to check us out on our sister channel, ESGNet LP. There's some good stuff over there. Definitely check it out. And we have actually an NCAA series over there also. So it's a fun one so far. But as always, keep yourself healthy, wear a mask, and I will see you guys next time.